Hello, this is the Podsquad with me, Nick.
And I'm Will.
And today we're going to be talking about a new anime film called Your Name.
It starts off as the story of a girl in the country and a boy who lives in Tokyo who end up swapping bodies. And this, yes, it is...
It does sound weird. It was the thing that sort of put me off to start off with. But
at first it's just sort of them coming to terms with the fact that this is happening, and then it slowly starts happening more and more and they get to know each other, basically. At the middle point, it suddenly stops happening, and the male character is concerned about the fact that it's happening. Do you actually remember his name? I've forgotten his name.
Taki.
He realises that it stopped happening, and so he goes to try and find her. However, the only thing he has to go on is scenery he saw while he was in her body. And so eventually he happens across a bar with the person who sees a picture he drew of the scenery, and they say it's from this town that got destroyed by a meteor.
That was when the pace just completely changed.
Yeah,
it's all nice and happy, and it just went...
Yeah, just completely
It's
bombs there.
What?
Mitsuha was killed by this meteor, and that she actually lived 3 years ago when this thing happened.
It's all a bit spoiling. Oh, well, I'll put
yeah,
it at the start. I'll put a spoiler. Yeah.
Spoiler-free
No, definitely not.
video. It's more about sort of Taki trying to once again swap bodies with her so that he can try and save the town and save her ultimately.
Yeah, what's your thoughts now then? What's your thoughts?
It was incredible. I mean, each section of the film, which if you ask me comes in sort of 3 sections.
Yeah.
But each section had its own sort of overview, like the start was comedy, the middle bit was quite sort of sad, and then the ending bit was...
There's all quite a bit of action and...
Yeah.
Well, not proper action.
Yeah, not
but
like action, but fast-paced kind of stuff. And each bit was handled really well, and then they also all flowed and interconnected really well to sort of create the overall story.
Well, yeah, the thing is that it happened, like, when they changed the thing, especially from, like, the happy sub bit, it was just all of a sudden.
Yeah, it was a really...
And sort of when you think about it as well, from the sub bit to the fast pace bit, that was quite sudden.
It was quite sudden as well, yeah. And also, like, one of the things I really liked about it, I've seen the film twice, I watched it again, and some of the stuff you see when you watch it the second time, you don't actually notice the first time through, or at least I found.
Oh no, I've only watched it once.
Yeah.
I'm like an outsider to sort of a lot of sort of anime films, but I thought this was really good. I thought it was great.
Not just the story though, I think the animation of the film was really good as well.
Yeah, it was very good.
Like, there weren't any bits that sort of made me think, hang on a second, this doesn't look right. It all sort of looked like it was meant to, like, it all seemed natural.
Yeah.
Me.
I thought, like, you know the bit where they had, I don't know, was it like a valley sort of thing? You know, in the wrong place,
the crater bit.
Oh, that just looks, that looks amazing. I was just like, wow, when they done the animation for that, I was blown away.
You could also tell a clear difference sort of between the countryside scenes and then the city scenes.
Yeah.
It was really well done by the fact that the city felt like a city, the country felt very countryside.
Yeah, I don't know if they done. I don't know. I sort of noticed this. They might have done like a. I know it's a completely different film, but Matrix. You know when they had it was like green when they were in the Matrix and blue when it wasn't. I don't know if they done anything like that. I'm not
I didn't
sure.
Notice it.
I sort of noticed a tiny bit, but they might have not done it. It might just been me, but the characters are very good as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously it primarily focuses on Taki and Mitsuha, who actually develop quite a lot as the story goes on. Taki at first seems sort of a bit good for nothing, so to say.
Yeah, so he seems a bit arrogant.
Yeah, and he doesn't really have a goal in life as well, based on sort of the fact.
Yeah, sort of just like, oh yeah, I'll finish school and then I'll just do whatever.
And then by the end of it, he's sort of motivated and committed to sort of urban development, I think it is, just as a job that he chooses, but still committed.
No, he was inspired because, you know, the meteor hit and it was like, oh yeah, I want the same thing could happen to Tokyo or something.
The soundtrack I also think was really good.
Yeah,
one thing that I found a bit strange is sort of the random montages that were in it. I wasn't so fond.
Yeah, especially right at the start of the film. It was like a weird montage thing. I thought I thought to start off with, I was like, are you sure this isn't supposed to be the end of the film or something?
One of the bits near the beginning when it's sort of repeatedly them swapping over to a montage.
Yeah.
I understand why they did it then, because they wanted to cover quite a lot of time.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying about right at the very start.
Yeah.
There is one sort of about 5 minutes into the film, which is a bit strange. It doesn't feel right. To be
And
honest.
one massive plot hole. I know, it's still a really good film and that all the
Yeah.
pacing's really good, the characters are great. They all develop, even like some of the side characters, like
Yeah.
Mitsuha's friends, they develop. Because Mitsuha is, like, the events of her was 3 years in the past compared to Taki. How didn't they notice when they swapped?
Yeah,
like that
especially
there was a
both-
3 year difference.
Yeah, both of them have smartphones, and the way they communicate with each other is they leave sort of notes in their
There's like
smartphone
reminders.
diaries. Yeah, reminders. And at one point, Mitsuha in Taki's body is actually looking at a computerized message with a full date written on it, and yet fails to notice that it's actually suddenly 3 years in the future. And that is sort of quite a big plot hole that is never actually covered.
It's still a good film
But
though. But
it's sort of good enough that you don't really think about this
No,
the first time you're watching it.
especially sort of the middle section, the
Yeah.
sad part. I was like, it really.
Yeah, you're
did.
too sort of occupied with thinking about the characters rather than.
Yeah, because
what
you
they're
really did
actually-
feel a connection in that. Because they did definitely focus on them. They actually showed them. Oh yeah, this sort of treated them as like one of your friends.
Yeah,
It seems.
yeah, yeah. If I had to give an overall out of 10, I'd probably go for 9 out of 10 and say this is, without a doubt, for me, the best film this year.
I would probably say 9 out of 10 as well. I didn't really go in like sort of expecting too much, but then I was just amazed. Like sort of once it finished, and I was like, wow. So yeah, this has been the Podsquad with me, Nick.
You know well.
And yeah, just have a good morning, evening, night, whatever time of day it is.